Hello, I'm Meg Schiffler, and welcome to Culture Wire. For this episode, Director of Cultural Affairs Louise Cancel will take you on a journey through Presidio Habitats.
Welcome to Culture Wire. Today I'm at the Presidio Trust, a treasure within San Francisco, because the Presidio Trust is really a national park in the center of an urban setting. It dates to the very founding of the city because the Spanish established the Presidio in 1776, and it had been a military base, first for the Spanish, then for the Mexicans, and eventually for the United States, all the way until about the 1990s when it became a national park. Joining me today to talk about this amazing exhibition, Presidio Habitats, is Cheryl Haynes, the founder and executive director of Foresight Foundation. Cheryl?
Good morning, Louis.
Can you tell me a little bit about the idea of Presidio Habitats?
Well, succinctly, I've long been interested in the Presidio. It actually started in the late 70s when I first moved to San Francisco, when it was still a military base. And I really remember driving down Lombard on my way to the Golden Gate Bridge and seeing the military guards standing at the gate and being utterly fascinated by what's behind those gates.
So Presidio Habitats is actually an exhibition where you have invited how many artists to sort of think about the habitats and its inhabitants?
We put together a list of possible participants, both local, national, and international, of people that have either been interested in environmental concerns or have made works in the landscape, but had some relationship to the conversation we were interested in having here. We, I think, sent out letters of proposal requests to about 100 people. We received 25 proposals back. And we're standing in the exhibition space where all 25 are being exhibited. From that 25, we went through and we chose 10 to actually realize in the landscape.
And there are 11 installations, is that correct? Or
including this building.
Including this building, which actually is an amazing sort of example of recycling.
We're very pleased with the space, actually. It was designed by a collaborative team of Griziak and Prillinger, local architects here in San Francisco. And when we approached them and said, well, we need something that's a temporary structure and something that can be brought onto the Presidio in pieces and can act as an exhibition space for 1 year, which is the term of this exhibition, and then be removed at the end of the time, we came up with the notion of shipping containers. It was really important to us from the very beginning that this project not only be for the place, but also be of the place. And what I mean by that is that the participants would also use repurposed materials.
You know, shortly I'm going to be talking with Mark Jensen, who is one of the artists that you selected. And what excited you about his idea?
Well, many things. First of all, I'm a fan of his work as an architect. And secondly, I knew because of the creativity I've seen him bring to bear on his architectural projects that he would come up with something really quite unique. And I loved the fact that it was, though specifically addressing the great blue heron that resides here, and we've seen him, he's quite amazing actually, but it was also about the human interaction with the place.
What are your ideas or expectations with the people who come to visit Presidio Habitats?
Well, we just really hope that people will come, they'll bring their families, their dogs, their friends, and come back a number of times, because these works will change over the year that they're in place. And the feedback we're getting is that you can't do all of them on one visit. It's really better to come back and have different experiences here with the various parts of the exhibition.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Thanks, Louis.
I'm with Mark Jensen of Jensen Architects, who is one of the artists that was selected to be part of Presidio Habitats. So when you heard about Cheryl Haynes' project for the Presidio, what inspired you about that call?
Well, our client is the great blue heron, but I'll tell you, I have to admit that it was the site itself that attracted us. As an architect, this space of buildings at Fort Scott, the buildings that ring this open field, it's an incredibly beautiful outdoor room. So we did a little bit of reverse engineering once we knew we wanted to work here. We said, which animals have habitat here? And the great blue heron just jumped out at us. And the time that we spend here, what we would notice is we'd come out, walk around, and very quickly you get into this other kind of pace. You sort of slow down, you leave the city behind you, and you start to hear different sounds, different smells. You feel the wind and the breeze. And I think that in our increasingly frenetic, fast-paced, connected life, to be able to get a chance to come out here and just slow down a bit was part of our agenda.
Prior to your installation, the naturalist had already suggested that this is deliberately not mowed because it allows all the different flowering plants to sort of sustain and attract a whole series of insects and birds that sort of gravitate to the area.
Exactly, and so when you sit on one of our chairs, I think you very quickly start to notice that.
Well, Mark, thank you for being part of Culture Wire.
Our pleasure, thanks.
So Presidio Habitats is an exhibition at the Presidio Trust. It'll be in San Francisco through May of 2011, and we hope you will come out to see this and experience this amazing exhibition and this great national treasure. For Culture Wire, this is Luis Cancel. Thank you.
To learn more about the other habitat installations in the Presidio, visit presidio.gov/habitats. Thank you for watching Culture Wire.